You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange.
Country like Salon also every decision they touch the life of plenty people. One program they bring the voice of the people to the heart of politics.
This na Politics and the People, the program where they give the power to the people, explain the truth, and bring the leader them close to the citizen them.
Real discussion, real voice them, real impact. Join the debate and make them hear your voice.
Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. na you platform where they turn up for the true and civil engagement. Only on Liberty Online TV.
Let me talk about politics. Let me talk about people.
Term them like this, where politics they shape with future, career they define we path them, and the economy they touch everybody in life.
Big thank you to
One program where they ask the hard question them and so bring the answer them close to you, face to face with the movers and shakers, the voice them will matter, the issue them will count. One time per week, one big name, one big issue, one-on-one on Liberty Online TV. Every Friday, 8 to 9 p.m. with Khadija Bangura. One-on-one, only on Liberty Online TV.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to another edition of the Breakfast Show, where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV. We they stream na Facebook, YouTube, and also now our website, where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. We will they bring this edition of the Breakfast Show come to you this Tuesday morning in name na Khadija Bangura.
And Mina Mevelkaba, good morning. Today is Tuesday, the 25th day of November 2025, and this 25th day of November. So the 10th of December, globally, the world can come together with and call 16 days of activism. Not same way the world can use for advocates for the bad thing and what can happen to woman and girl picking them. Then call them gender-based violence what can happen to them people here. The theme for this year, they focus on how all man for faith for stop digital violence against woman and picking them, girl picking them specifically. So inside this edition of the Breakfast Show today, we can talk about this theme. And so we go relate them to waiting on the happen now the context of Salon.
Well, as you all know, Liberty Online TV, one of our main priority now for ensure say we advocate for women and girl picking them. So for this year, 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, we dey start the celebration for can look at the law them and self-talk to advocacy group them on how they don't they work for ensure say they advocate for women and girl picking them. And if you look at statistics, one new form of violence, now digital violence, women say people and they use the digital space for cause bullying, harassment and other bad things that we happen to women them. So the theme for this year now unite to end digital based violence. So they can look at the law them, what's in the law them say, and say for they can talk to woman lawyer them, where don't they work together one with other legal practitioner them for ensure say they advocate for woman and girl picking them for make salon a safe space for woman and girl picking them. Well, at the studio this morning, we'll get the president for lawyers with this now woman lawyer they will come together and form this organization we then call Legal Access for Women yearning for equality rights and social justice. Well, all of this we can discuss this morning, and I pleasure for host for the very first time the president for lawyers, Wena Menisa Sise. Good morning, Madam President.
Good morning, Khadija. Good morning, Mabel. Thank you for having me.
All right, that's our studio guest this morning. Also, they can discuss what the different issues them where they happen around gender-based violence and safe where they can look at the area we get for do digital violence as this 16 days of activism. Organization them all over the world, they use them for talk about the bad things they wake happen to woman them na the digital space. And throughout the 16 days, Liberty Online TV with support from the Irish Embassy na Salon and Safe, the Orange Foundation. Therefore, bring on contents them where they talk about how woman and girl picking them for stay safe na the digital space, and several go all conversation them we go talk about digital violence and how everybody for unite for end this type of violence waking up onto woman and girl picking them. So throughout these 16 days, we don't begin today November 25 and it go end inside December 10. We will continue for talk about some of the issues there. You go read messages from stakeholders them and self senior advocates them. We don't work around issues that we get for do gender-based violence. We'll therefore discuss all of the issues there throughout the 16 days. Then we can now to you, Menisa. First, before we can talk about the laws and how woman and girl picking them forget protection, just like any other person where they use the digital space. Then we look at lawyers as an organization. You just take over. For the benefit of somebody, when at the first time this is the year about lawyers, waiting mainly on the work around.
Okay, good morning, viewers. So, lawyers, as you rightly mentioned, now legal access to women yearning for equality rights and social justice. So this is an organization we don't in existence for the past 28 years. And a woman lawyer then a salon where look at the status quo at that time and feel say laws them been there we no been to the favor woman than a salon, or we not be the protect and promote the rights of woman and girl picking than a salon. So then come together for form this organization for serve as one for provide legal representation of a free legal service to vulnerable women and girls in our society. And they also don't work strongly on advocacy and awareness of gender laws. But most important now that lawyers don't play a very important role in working with partners for ensure that we get law reforms them where go promote the rights of promote the rights and of vulnerable women and girls in society. So basically now these lawyers don't dare about. So lawyers for the past 29 years don't provide legal representation for women in our courts, more especially with SGBV matters, and we also they work strongly on maintenance matters for vulnerable women and girls again as salon.
How you go describe how advocacy like na country like salon, because throughout the 16 days of activism, na same way voices them need for come out for talk but seeing the way gets for do with gender-based violence against girl picking and woman them, especially where the theme gets for do with let all man unite for fight against digital violence. How advocacy generally turn like na salon, people they learn from what you can talk about.
So I go say advocacy not ever enough, because when you interact more and go to the communities, then you know how limited people then know about their rights them na salon as citizens or as woman and girl picking them na salon. So advocacy not ever enough. Now I make certain term they like the wire you go see feminist organizations and various advocacy groups then they come online again for further push their awareness there to people them, because we believe say again for start with you as an individual for know your rights. before you go able for stand up to certain violence or certain things the way they happen to you in a society. So advocacy is never enough, and we keep pushing very hard on advocacy.
We move small from our work now. They come for talk about the purpose really we there for. We look at the theme for this year for the 16 days of activism. We now unite to end digital violence against all women and girls. And we all know say the cyber acts, some people don't they use them, some people not they use them because maybe they're not aware. But somebody will get a legal background. Just tell the viewers and folks how it feels like forget a cyber crime law na a country like Salon.
So it feels really good. It shows we government serious about ending such digital violence, because Sierra Leone are one of the few countries then where get cyber security and crimes acts in the country, and the main purpose of this act now before provide a legal framework for combat cyber crimes, and it also they help for prevent and prohibit this digital violence, and also help with investigation and prosecution. So I think we also go further for even make a commission where go further regulate the provisions that inside the Cyber Security Act. So I think Sierra Leone to a large extent don't show in commitment in supporting and working on ending violence online, But then the Act also make very key provisions, more especially where it comes to the offenses, and also the penalties the way they in the Act. You get very strong penalties there where you go talk about somebody getting 2 to 5 years jail term, or you pay a fine, something like 30 to 50 million for online cyberbullying or stalking. Some of the offenses, even penalty, they will go take you to 100 million to 500 million. So I would believe these are very strong punishments where go help for end online violence. But it's also about the implementation, following up on all these beautiful provisions and these penalties where they in the Act, ensuring that they are being implemented fully.
When you talk about the implementation, Nyanda, lots of challenges there, because with all the laws them, when the country talk about them beautiful laws there, we just make mention of, but we look at the rate at which woman them they go through violence, especially in the digital space. You could just wake up one morning, you see a nude video of a woman they trend online. Then the country gets all the law there. They at the end of the day, the woman then can become the victim them, and the one that can be the offenders them, then they out there in a society without going through the right punishment them. Also, if you say the issues there, now the law enforcement agency or now some of the women, they are not they come forward for use the laws.
Okay, so I mentioned earlier that on the advocacy aspect, it's good that you know what's in the law there about, It will interest you for no say you get some people who are not even aware. Say this kind of law there, and then provisions there I make, and then punishments there I make. The offenses them plenty, from unauthorized access, to data interception, to misuse of device, to cyberbullying, cyber stalking, to even online sexual abuse, for picking there and adults. So the laws are there. But most times, again, sometimes women are not aware, say, okay, this kind of law day, And also, it's not also about them being aware. Some can even be aware. But then it's just the fear of retaliation. You get this thing about violence, and most times the victims or the survivors then prefer for keep silent, because then they're afraid, because of various reasons, Either they're afraid, so, okay, this person here, na senior person in my workplace, if I can't talk, say, don't do this to me, and all, it go retaliate in this way, Then they even can take you to within even the family. Somebody go say, oh, I dey bear for me picking them. I don't want the public shame. I don't want the public disgrace, So these are most times the challenges where people need to come out for speak about this. But as you mentioned, Khadija, as a worrying trend, it's rapidly taking over the online digital violence, especially on women. And interestingly, it's it also the targets more especially women in the public spaces, like una self as journalists, and they target activists them, and they target women in politics, women in leadership, women in public life, and most times, and even younger women, and most times then online digital violence there aim at one thing for silence we as women them. For example, una as journalists, somebody go on online bullying or trolling or online attack because a one for make una go silent on certain issues, So it's a lot. Online digital violence is increasing, and in as much as we get 1 out of every 3 women them where in their lifetime don't face violence or through their family or partner, but then you get about 1.8 million women there where no get no legal protection on digital violence, So I think this is the more reason why this year, 16 Days of Activism, they kick off with this theme for raise this kind of awareness, so people know the various forms of domestic online violence where women then they face. Because it starts online, but it may stop online. Sometimes it goes offline. We don't see women there where they don't physically abuse from issues where start online. It also they lead to femicide. Women then the way then they kill. So or maybe stalker. Somebody don't they follow you online, they don't they this, they don't send comments, they begin monitor, begin track your life before you marry, a whole violence don't come out of that online space. So now all this theme for this year, they try for bring out this awareness. So we will also collectively put actions in place for put an end to online digital violence.
You talked earlier about the culture of silence, where some people can fear for speak out. And as a legal practitioner, how does it affect on our work? Like people now want for speak out, perhaps seek aid, and see how the law go taking course. How will it affect una?
It affects me greatly because we go don't get a client, I'm not going to go in depth because we do get with safeguard policies them, but then you go get a client where go don't come make reports on some domestic violence where they face and all. Then we start up the matter, then later he say, okay, they don't call me, talk to me in a corner, family, so we take this out. But then also you get some people, as I mentioned earlier, then just afraid and shame for talk on certain things the way they happen with them. Because they watch and say, public perception, how they go see me, how they go. So it also I go say it also the strain we work in a way, because one, in a way somebody speak up, nine action will be done. And the bad thing now that silence the fuel the violence, because if a perpetrator no say, okay, I go behave this kind of way to this person, then it not go forever go talk, it go continue, it go keep they do an act where they do a violence on you. So now we also want to talk to people the way where they go through various forms of violence for speak up and break the silence. Because when you speak up, you also, they make it known to people, and also they bring the perpetrator to the public.
All right. Well, in case you just tune in, they listen to many Sasina, the president for lawyers, we a female lawyer organization where they advocate for gay access to equal justice, rights, and also social justice to women them. As we don't kickstart this year 16 Days of Activism campaign against gender-based violence. And this year, who they look at online violence, as the theme they say, unites for end online violence against all women and girls. And we don't joined by Josephine Camara, we come out from Purposeful, as we all know, Purposeful and a feminist organization. We themselves don't they play great role for advocates for human rights them. And if we talk about for let women them go use the digital space, for let them go stay safely and for end all forms of violence where they happen to women them online, Purposeful our organization, where we bring on board for get conversation around some of the bad things them where they happen to women them. If you go through the digital space, you go notice say women them they go through all forms of violence through this particular space, especially turning now where the social media space they evolve. Everybody get access to smartphone, everybody get access to internet, and women them don't they suffer plenty harassment, online bullying. You dey see say somebody just share a bad picture of a woman without even in consent with this now crime. So get the lawyer them for look at the law angle within the law say and how woman them for get this awareness say if somebody bully you or harass you or commit any form of online violence against you, there are laws where they protect woman them, but say woman there not only use them laws there so we got for getting various conversation there as they continue with the 16 days of activism. Good morning, Josephine.
Khadija.
All right, we don't kickstart the conversation. We don't they talk about the various forms of violence them where they happen to women them. I know say una na purposeful, una not even get space for such for any bad thing will go happen to woman. But when we they talk about digital violence for the layman out there, we maybe not the first thing this go hear about online violence or digital violence. What would they talk about?
Well, the first thing what I want, and I know say Minister go don't take the time to tell people in that now that this day where we don't kickstart so not to a celebratory day. Because people can feel say 16 days of activism not time for celebrate. Now a global day we means not to win no more here they commemorate them. And now like a checking points, like a time where we activists them, survival leaders them, feminists them, all around the world, human rights defenders them all around the world, they go back to the drawing board and start for check. For see if progress to happen where we talk about ending violence against women and girls and people them where they identify differently. For see who side and progress and they don't happen. Whose gaps still exist and how we will continue for use with voice and amplify actions them or progressive laws them and policies them. We go make sure say that gap they go be closed. That's the first thing I want to make people understand. The other thing I want to make people understand is violence against women and girls don't exist for the longest, for century. Just like how then they talk about human rights issues. I mean, people are considering women, they like say they're not a part of the human race. So it's so unfortunate that we get for divide them and talk differently for women and girls when we're just supposed to be talking about human rights, you know. But now for sure how deeply entrenched the ignoring culture in this the world, the fact that people does not consider us human, the fact that we have to protest, we have to fight, we have to be in conversations like this to talk and promote human rights, you know. The digital violence, violence where they happen at the virtual space. So, you know, we all get with smartphone them, and I know say you don't talk about that. But apart from that, we all then are there interest in social media space system. Within our WhatsApp, within our Facebook, within our TikTok, Instagram, you name them, all them spaces, then the young people and the Bokuna Snapchat. Well, somebody we're going to listen will say, I don't think say that na big problem na salon because mostly the predominant rate of people that we're going to use their smartphone there will probably be in the central of the country, then in the city. But at the same time, people are waiting at the extreme rural communities. They would only see phone don't they get in their hands them. How do we know that? When COVID started, we move with we Kaukua connection shows them, and we get for put phones in the hands of girls girls now over 6 districts them across the country. And those phones were not just used for make call. They were, running circles them, then girls circles them. Then they bring other girls in at the community for be in them spaces, then they for listen, waiting, violence mean to them, for able to get the name, for understand them, and for able to know how for report them if it happened to them. And apart from that, when we go do that day, our assumption was then girls picking there not to, don't get access to them things. But we surprised we for no say all that then community, then they then picking and they do TikTok, then they do them trending videos. They're very much online, but at the same time we not get woman and boku online because technology is predominantly still in the hands of men. But then one the way they online like owner then journalists and so like we the activists them like people the way them politicians them public people them within at their virtual spaces there. We don't see routine form of violence them they affect them. Now there has been other forms of violence where don't they happen, like the physical violence, the psychological violence, the economic violence. I don't know if you guys have taken the time to go through all of that, but there are other forms of violence where don't they happen. But because of the technology evolution, as long as how it be don't start for happen, violence be don't they go with them, because people are now finding new ways. So violence don't they become adaptive, then they adapt and then they go into their new spaces there where people can defend themselves, because social media, online spaces is like the Times Square now of we own time. This is where you find everybody. And when people then go over them space, then they perpetrate the same form of violence where don't they exist. Then you will say, oh, sometimes somebody just talk to me anyhow on social media. This is virtual and not for do anything. But as Melissa be say when I'm working is, it has something to do also with you, your psychological, your mental, your physical well-being. To some extent, some videos and when they go post on post, you get waiting and call the revenge porn, where somebody go just feel like say sometimes on a be in a relationship, it's on a share intimate pictures and videos them of on self, then give the person the permission for share that video. Then the person sometimes you sack them on a 2 more day again, it gets angry and it distributes them picture then or them videos and they out. Then I wait to call revenge porn now a type of virtual or digital or technology facilitated violence. You get the other one then back way sometimes not so you partner share them, but then gonna you cloud, for example, the one the way they use iPhone. Me I don't get an incident of when my iPhone lost, the person called me, message me through how they call them iMessage, and he was asking for me password. I refuse to give me password. The next threat now I go sell you contents in at the black markets, the black online markets. So imagine if I be get something then we go put me in a space where go compromise me. That would have been a very catastrophic thing for me. And I don't lie tell you, even though I not be getting anything and I was not too sure. I be they doubt myself. I'm like, what if I snap myself one certain way and then go post them na online spaces? So you get people them where they use your content and blackmail you and start for manipulate you and start for try to extort you. We see that every day. Then there is another one where somebody will just go online, say, hey, we woman, somebody be talk and say, hey, woman at this country. He say even fall get rights pass we. Now one survivor talk him. And when he talk him, they sit down and they think about and reflect on it deeply. I realize say people really don't treat us seriously. Somebody go just go online and start for talk very degrading thing against you as woman just because of your gender, just because of not how you choose for born or how you come na this world. Then go start for use what we call sexist slur, like degrading comments them or words them or things that we go dehumanize you, we go make you feel bad about yourself. It not touch you physically, but it don't tell you something will make you go sit down and start to think, and mentally you will be disturbed. Psychologically you will be affected. So there is that form also where they affect people them. There's another one that people are not really talking about, where this AI evolution at the world now, this evolving AI thing where they take place now the world now, this evolving AI thing where they take place now the world. Somebody go take you fine picture, Khadija, then merge them with somebody in Asafla, not for happen, I'm just saying, then merge them with a video, maybe a video of a porn video. then call them the deep fake, you know, then go match them with a porn video. Then you go just see yourself no more. You video sex tape of you day out. You're wondering, when did you do that? You did not do that. Why is that content of you outside? A lot of people then they use AI for do dandy. So that's they bring shame to somebody in life. They bring extreme cases. People can even take their own life because of that form of violence where they don't experience. And like I say, the other forms of violence where don't they exist at the wall, they don't they adapt into that space. So they find out say where virtual or technology facilitated violence happen to you, it will even affect your livelihood. So there economically you've been disturbed, right?
So
because
talking about the AI, Josephine, you think say the emergence of AI now and other additional threats to women
definitely like where person will see you. So the idea, some men are sick, when they tell you say there are people that hate the guts of women, the idea say many are presidents for lawyer, look where they make self, how they make himself so, and then don't picture you, they start picturing you naked. You know, AI can make you completely naked, and they start distributing it, and it make it look like now you take a naked picture of yourself and share them. So there's a one way you go share out of intimate moments where we discourage young people and for me they stop for do that, because you really don't know what the next person is going to use your contents to do. Una enjoy on ourselves, una do whatever on our for do, but we really they discourage people and make them stay away from, you know, taking videos and documenting. But then there's a one way not to you do then just they go on AI, they upload you full close picture, and then they get a naked version of you and they start to distribute it. There is good side to technology where we want for uphold, where we want for promote. Like the fact that we're talking about this right now and we did our online TV and people and they listen, and people then go learn one or two things and start for implement in their own life. The fact that, for example, when the Black Tuesday movement started, it spread through online. We saw what happened in South Africa a few days ago when they then do their own purple campaign, and they were lying for 15 minutes on the ground just to remember the people that don't die. And some of them die there, not to just intimate partner death them. Some of them die there. Somebody don't go post some certain things for you online. Then you start forget people the way they stalk you, and then people then become obsessed, and then they start to do things that are harmful. It can lead to femicide. It can lead to people killing you just because of how they don't represent you online.
You actively dey into advocacy around issues them where they for protect women and girl picking them.
Yes.
And this 16 days of activism, like we dey discuss, I be asked Melissa earlier about the laws, because if there is a cyber crime law and there issues we all know say they exist. You sleep and wake, you must hear online bullying there and there. People they post people and videos without their consent. From your experience at the field, are these laws working?
I will share like very intimate experiences then, because I don't get situation where I don't work with people them where they don't post them images them online, and me like because of me work get for go with them now the police for go reports. First of all, I go tell you say we police or law enforcing agencies them, they're not too trained in this new form of violence where they exist. Yes, there's the cyber bullying and cyber crime law where they I will talk about the remedy way in lack force, where sometimes we will get for go into reviewing of that act. But the fact that the police where they deal with 10 case, like when you go to the cyber units now, the CID, man, I don't sit on a whole day just to report a matter of somebody young share a picture, like very innocent picture. Then later night, all a very important, respectable person, they work in a big office. Then all of a sudden, this man just get angry. He posts this picture of this young lady, where he be young. Now, a big woman, he just post this picture. And we went to the police and we sat there the whole day trying to just make reports. And for me, they even take the report, I tell you, you get for even do that shake hand back, for me then sit down. So sometimes we get for think of how laws not go just be fine decorated words on papers, but how it go be enforceable, how it go get teeth. And then how go train the people the way they do that enforcement say of their law. Then right now, the police not too equipped for deal with this kind form of violence. The reason for that now because this is a new form of violence where we discuss now the country. It's not new now the world, because like I say, it don't day for the longest time from where technology start for evolve, but in new na this space here where we discuss them. And one of the reasons if we make a lot of people start getting interested in this kind form of violence. Now what they see, you know, we big celebrity, then people they when are influential people and people that were young people and they look up to, they start posting their intimate videos and pictures out. That was one of the big trigger we make a lot of people start paying attention to this form of violence. The other thing I would say is we get a slight missed opportunity with the Sexual Offences Act or the Sexual Offences Law Act in 2012, where they renew them amend them in 2019. And I'm happy the Attorney General's office is talking about reviewing of this particular act, because we need to go back, because like how violence they evolve over time, laws supposed to be evolving also to tackle, to address them forms of violence. And also it talk about something of sharing child pornography. But it needs to go deep, because digital violence, not to just the sharing of child pornography. It's all what I don't explain. So the revenge porn, the sexist slur where people and they use degrading words against women them just because of your gender. It go further, the deep fakes videos and pictures them where they go use. So I feel like even in the sexual offences law, something's supposed to be housed in there. We go address this form of violence, because one thing about we problem now we lost them, so you know they're so scattered. We get for take the term, and it always get for do with laws the way they affect women. Now laws the way get for affect women, now we go begin take the term and say we need for harmonize them, we need for bring them all together. The problem is we get the cyberbullying law where they exist, but we need to get some aspect of this bullying where they affect women them, or this crime where they affect women them inside with Sexual Offences Act law. Because if we did it, then we go get the framework for able for prosecute them. Right now, it's we get the unit where you go make reports, but there's no clear remedies like step to step waiting go happen where this happen, and we need for make it be clearly spelled out. Why is it always when you get for do it, woman and girl picking them, now we go begin to say, oh, the law not clear enough. We get for go Supreme Court for ask for interpretation. Let they able to interpret and clear for we. The remedies are not clearly spelled out, and we want it to be clearly spelled out. The other thing we not clearly spelled out now, what does support look like for people who don't experience this form of violence? Because mostly the police can just tell we say, now for just ignore, we go offline. And we are not trying to get women offline, because online space is very productive space also. It's a space where people are getting new experiences, they are learning new things, they're getting jobs these days. These days, people get jobs online, they get interview online. If you go on LinkedIn, you post your CV, before you know it, there'll be recruiters looking for you. So the intent is not to get women and young people or girls offline. The intent is to make the online space safe for them, so that when they're online, they will be protected. And I feel like these laws supposed for gets clear explanation of their remedies in there and what support will look like for people who experience this form of violence.
Before we come back to Melissa, earlier, Melissa be touched on something very important, how all of them violence there where they happen to women them online, they scare them away for you utilizing the digital space. We're very essential now, because nobody no go tell you now say if you're not a female politician, you know, for use the digital space for get supporters. But if they don't make this online space so toxic for the woman, them many women they even afraid for shy away. This same space, and they use them for extort woman them. Some blackmailers then they but they don't get access to something where you know want let it go online, and they use them for take money from you. Now that owner as advocates them, we the media, lawyers, then they use these 16 days for talk about some of them things there. Waiting the conversation for focus on Josephine.
The conversation for focus on one, helping people understanding what this violence is. If we also focus on explaining the existing laws and tools and framework that people can use to address this. But also, most importantly, like what I tell you, say, this is an opportunity for do a check and able know the gaps and where exist. If we also use this 16 days for call attention to we Ministry of Justice, we Attorney General's office, for call attention to the people them way they implement the cyberbullying laws, them, the enforcers, them, for make them able know, say there are things lacking in their laws there. One of the things, and now we get opportunity because I know say a whole conversation about reforms and reviews is going on laws them in the country. Now we as survivor leaders, them activists, them the media people, them we all get an opportunity. We get a leadway where we go use we voice and call them gaps there where exist and able bring the conversation into then review process there. Because if we SOA with sexual offences law go through review and capture sexual violence or technology facilitated violence, it will also be a missed opportunity. The same way where we miss opportunity with the Child Rights Act, where we make a lot of noise about the review process where they go into and how that review process go able close the gap for end female genital cutting for young girls. Then because of a lot of attention we're not given to that, we lose the opportunity in a parliament. We don't want to lose the opportunity. We don't not so all time way law done. Now we go meet lawyers them and say, you know what, we think we should go to Supreme Court where they help with interpretation. That should not be the case for women and girls. So this is an opportunity for make we able to raise the alarm. That's what they call them. Make we raise the alarm for make people understand, say, well, women and girls are following the laws in this country. We understand the frameworks that are supposed to protect us, but we realize that there are gaps, and these are the gaps. And send your documents, send your position paper, engage the people who can close these gaps. Be involved in conversation. Right now, as I talk to you, our partners across the country are leading campaigns. Campaigns from, addressing female genital cutting to sexual violence, rape and penetration, to just the conversation about violence happening online. Then there are different communities, districts, them, different villages, them running campaign. As I'm talking to you, a partner is moving a caravan, a bus from Port Loko. It start from Port Loko, they go all the way to Kailaun. And they use this as an opportunity for information that's supposed to exist online, where people learn that deprived community, then very rural communities don't know about. They use this as an opportunity for bring that conversation to the community. So it shows say there is their need for make people get information, but the information space with a close and with a shrink them. One way will they shrink and now they push women them offline. And like I said, we no need for push women them offline. We just need to get a conversation about how to make the space safe enough so that women will exist. They look Menisa campaign. The campaign, it took life online. A lot of people got to know about that presidency or that election because of the robust media campaign we happen. Look like this TV, the conversation that are going on this TV, the way it is spread across the country, not just the country, across the region, globally also, because there are people in the diaspora always tuning in watching this. It shows that these spaces are very important and we're supposed to guard these spaces them so that women will continue to exist in their full power within these spaces.
We'll come back to you, Melissa. Josephine just end with how we for guide this space for let woman then go able for utilize them for empower themselves, for let woman then go able for utilize them for talk about the things the way then they do. We get female entrepreneurs, then we for use the digital space. We get female media practitioner, then we for use the digital space. But if the laws them where the country gets no friendly, you just listen to Josephine, make an instance. So you even go to the police for report your case. You go nearly spend the entire day. At some point, they become frustrated. So, okay, you know it's in. Like just left me case to God and sit on so. So, una the lawyer them, we also the advocate. How una going to show say una work with the law enforcers them? For let woman then feel say yes, Lord and day, if somebody bully me or harass me or commit any form of digital violence against me, if I go to police, I get action.
Okay, so as Josephine also mentioned that, the digital space is a platform we're supposed to empower we as women. Unfortunately, it don't turn a minefield for harassment, abuse, and so control. And I mentioned also now that it's good that at least Sierra Leone gets the Cybersecurity Act. You get plenty of countries that we know gets the act. But then also is about the enforcement, the enforcement and how when you come in contact with violence, the process of it making it easier, not you becoming frustrated and just say, okay, let me go, And one thing very important for note is that there's a whole lot of capacity building needed in that space. You know, technology, it's something new for so many people, more especially in Africa. You know, with all this AI, all this advanced technology and all. So I think as an organization, we also go try for see how we can able maybe work on capacity building, you know, because as Joseph mentioned, you don't get a matter, you go to police. The whole process no more don't get you tied up and say, okay, let me just get rid of this one here. So I think we get a whole lot for do on capacity building. Because it go interest you for know that even the one day where they investigate are not au fait with some of their advanced. This IT business right now, it really gets a different level where do. It take the knowledge, the education, maybe training for make you able even identify some kind of way how them don't go about for leak, you know, somebody in data online on leak you nudes and waiting. So I think you have to do with a whole lot of capacity building with the actors them where we look up to for able for handle such violence when people can come up with the matters them. Yeah, so
how you go advise somebody where they watch you for detect online violence? How you gonna say this particular thing where this person don't do to me, so it's a crime?
All right, so you get various forms them. Yeah, you get image abuse, like waiting Josephine mentioned, where you don't date a partner, maybe in that time of una intimacy and waiting una don't share pictures, then later issue come up, you say, okay, well, it's a good time for me now for leak these pictures them, you know. AI as well don't make it very difficult for people, you know. And also cyber stalking and cyber bullying. It's easy for identify, Mabel. You the post, you get somebody where constant. At one point, I been notice somebody where as I post na my status, if they watch my status in 1 second, it gets worrying. I'm like, you know, it's the frequency, like every single time you post, this person, I force they can watch your status. Or maybe you post online, this person constantly, they can't comment on that your status, you know. Or you get somebody where go, maybe don't see you somewhere, you know, any platform where you see you, it don't snap your pictures and they keep them. So those are the worrying signs the way you go begin look at say, something is not right here, you know. And most commonly now you get this thing of trolling where it can happen most times with them bloggers them. I think this monetization again gets your own negative effect where people can get so crazy in making the coins that they're ready for post any kind, lie team or you and talk this and waiting. Then you get people and now we go begin troll and go drag that thing they up for maybe the next 1 week or 2 weeks. And it gets emotional torture where they cause on that person.
We as a society, we treat the issues here as serious as them be, especially in the digital space. Or we can just say, this will happen 2-3 days, then we'll forget about it and we move on.
Exactly. So most times when it happen, now that you will not happen, so go say, now this stuff, or just keep the media going. And the next 1-2 days, it go pass off. But think about that person. We go for live with the torture, the nightmare, the trauma, every net. They don't remember, me nude video leak. You know? They remember, say, me picking them, they grow up, they go for see this. And they say the waiting on go out na the internet, it never dies. It go always there, the 10, 15, 20 years from now, it they out there. You know, so that kind of thing then you get for also look at. For you, the individual, maybe it's for just you make your coins and you kick off to the next person where you go attack publicly or bully and all that. And I think a few months ago, there was a lady on TikTok where he killed himself, suicide, because of online bullying. So you see, for some other person, you go just watch and say, we'll just they hit and pass this, we'll go to the next person. But for you, where they happen, so it gets so many things that will go happen to you. You know, so that they think that they will make at least now, this 16 days of activism, as Joseph mentioned, it's not a happy moment. Because the fact that we don't say with gender-based violence issues are waiting, then now we get for come begin to the online violence back. So that means that then they attack we from all angle. Oh, don't say okay, domestic, we don't take care of the physical, this and that, you know. Then you come back online where you feel say, okay, I get so much opportunities for me for learn things, for empower myself, for do this, for do that, you know. Then you get for begin afraid say, where's kind of picture I go post outside? Let us can go use and make and this kind. Why always us as women? We get for day in this disadvantaged position. You get Monday, we go post countless things them on social media, but nobody no care. But when it comes to woman now, you get for begin afraid, wait till you the post out there. You get for begin afraid, hey, if I post this, waiting people and go comment. And also the hate speeches, the hate comments. Sometimes you get people post online, you see the kind message where somebody go get mine right under the comments. It's sickening. You know, it basically they touch on you to the last core of you as a human being. So the violence online, it's so much. I think it's something where it's good that this campaign can, because it really shed light on and now that people they understand and this way. And it's also good for the bloggers as well, and the one the way they perpetrate all the violence there for also know or understand what's in the other person they go through, you know. But then as I mentioned, it's not only about the hate speech and the waiting. It also get for deal with the violence where they escalate from there. You know, where not only online it is stable, it also they go offline. Yeah.
Then can they say catch them young?
In this case, is there any role schools then go play, especially if one look at protecting the online space? There are some schools who are aware of, we know they allow picking them for use mobile phone while sending at school. Is there any role they can play for let we ensure see the picking them safe?
Yes. So first of all, let me talk about the call to action. Yeah. So this 16 days of activism also creates an opportunity for we for engage, you know, as Josephine mentioned, for engage government on the enforcement of the laws there, you know, and for also make the tech companies then be accountable. You know, there's a lack of accountability from them tech companies that then they refuse for take accountability, where they get a whole lot for do, you know, for keep the space safe, you know, remove harmful content na your platform, you know, get you codes of conduct, and also maybe publish transparency codes them, where at least go just guide people, you know, the interaction with the space and all. And you also get all various advocacy groups there where they push on creating this awareness on violence. So now coming to your question on the school. So for us as an organization, part of our activities for the 16 days is that we're also going to do a school tour, visiting various schools for create this awareness on online digital violence and all. And because we believe, say, even the schools, before we dey get phone waste until we either, I think I get phone where I sit back. You get some people go tell you, say, now when I reach college, I get phones. But now you get picking the way the primary school, where them parents then they give phones, where they are totally exposed to these digital spaces, where all kind content out there, then picking there they see. And some parents, they know even they make maybe that random check for check what me picking they look through. You know, you get ways of controlling.
Yeah.
You get ways. I think me picking an iPad, one I put like viewing time where maybe 1-2 hours for the day, then a block. Yeah. The first day not be understand. Say, mommy, the iPad has stopped working. I say, yeah, your viewing time is. Yeah, you know. Then you also get a tracker with me email where certain apps them where you want download, and then they able to download them. And they get notification for me for get approval. You know, so I think as parents as well, we need for take some conscious steps them, in that regards. But then again, I think we need for also continue the advocacy, talk to the Pekin and at the schools them, because it might interest you for no, even between themselves, the kind of content the way then they share.
Yeah. And
As speaking them, then they video themselves, then get groups them. So all it takes now just one Pekin for share. There was a time where something happened at one school where one of the pupil is share a pornographic video so in other companies. So the parents gonna go see and I'm picking in phone, where being bring up a whole way to self. So I think as parents, they also get roles for play in ensuring that the digital space is safe for them picking there, taking conscious actions for ensure that. And also within the schools, I think Peking can get a tab or phone. Well, in secondary school, it can keep them at home. Don't bring it to school because it's also a distraction for other Peking in at school. So it's when we continue with the advocacy and awareness, I think say even with conversation here this morning, will make some parents even understand, what's in this thing really there about, and if they're not on the pay attention for no, so okay, it's about time I need for pay attention on me picking for no access where they get to the internet and whose kind content they get to the internet, so yeah.
Alright, well, if you just join me, this is not the breakfast on Liberty Online TV, and today we start for mark the 16 days of activism. Also, the theme for this year, the focus for let people unite for end all the online violence and waking up on the digital space against women and girl picking them. And this particular edition of the program, they come to in partnership with Orange Foundation and also the Embassy of Ireland Nasalone. Let we take this short message and we can continue for talk to we guest them.
This is the 16 days of activism. Digital violence is still violence. Online insults, fake profiles, sharing someone's photo without consent. We brush these things off like they're nothing, like not just Facebook talk. But for many women and girls in Sierra Leone, digital violence cuts as deeply as physical harm. Imagine waking up to threats on WhatsApp, rumors in a community group chat, fake nude pictures destroying your dignity. That is violence, full stop. If we want a safer country, we must protect our women, both offline and online. Respect is not location-based. It's human. This message is coming to you from Liberty Online TV with support from Orange Foundation and the Embassy of Ireland in Sierra Leone.
All right. Well, that's not just short message, and we'll go for the bring them short messages there. So for raise awareness on the kind of violence them where people can commit against woman and girl them na the digital space throughout the 16 days of activism. We will bring them short messages there. Listen to them. It will help for guide you, waiting you for do na the online space. For keep them very safe for we the woman and we girl picking them. And self una the man then supposed to be ally in then conversation there, because at some point you self, if you don't know the do's and don'ts, how for keep the digital space safe, you go just click something you're not supposed to click. Maybe you know even get the intention for bully or harass a woman, but because you know say even for click something without watch out or read them, now a crime against woman or girl picking. Coming back to you, Josephine, the conversation will just be the get behind the scenes. It's timely because if you look at the trend at which the space they go on, not even as Sierra Leone, other country them, if you follow the social media space, it don't become so toxic, especially now. You just see somebody turn on your phone, go Facebook Live, Instagram Live, begin to harass or bully a particular woman. And not all women get a thick skin or very strong for resist them bullying there. In as much as they advocate for that this space becomes safe, how for bring the man there on board as ally them?
So like when we talk just now, and I'll be start and say the crime might happen online, but the impact of it is not virtual. The impact is physical, is psychological. Some people, it go to the extent it affects their livelihood. Some people, the worst case scenario, it can cause death. Either somebody target you, stalk you, kill you, or even you self take your own life, which is not what we're advocating for here. But what we try for say is, enough physical, not to just enough virtual, not to just online it happen and then you ignore them or you go offline and then the violence go hand. It goes with you just like how other forms of violence go with you. So then people where they in the habit of sharing. Men love that. Then post picture, video, nude, somebody in sex tape, whatever, it's out. The first instinct is to rebroadcast, is to reshare. They share now all them group them before you they mara, it don't scatter all over. Nobody check to see if this na exactly correct video, if this is supposed to be shared at all, which of course you're not supposed to share content where somebody not give you the permission for share. So you get the clickbait one, the one that like clicks. Then they share controversial things for make you click on them so that they will get more views. They're quitting. And it's they say about the coins. People are so obsessed with making money online. But there are people who just share things because they just like the conversation of controversy, of a woman is being shamed. That's the most important thing. You don't go ever see them begin to distribute man in property na do. What happen if me not one day see yourself? Mostly na the woman them I can see, and most the people them I can see they redistribute them will be men sharing it all online. Now they say we compete woman, they know they do that day. But I say the understanding of sharing is also not very broadcasted in this space. We don't know say even sharing is a crime. So that's why things like sexual offences law and the cyberbullying law, we they ask for it and go back to the drawing board and able clearly explain them things here. So remedies will be clearly spelled out in there. So person will know say even when they catch you they share something when a person in private video we're not supposed to go out, or picture of somebody where something a deep fake one we're not supposed to be out there, naked pictures or images where they not give consent for share, that is a crime. The sharing of that is a crime. Posting you get one the way then go start with very controversial headline. Khadija don't do blah. You not do more. It's not your image. It's not anything. Defaming information. They just put on the defaming information. They just put on the and somebody click it. They do that because of the clicks. They want to get the quick clicks. That is also problematic. We also need to get clear remedies on we laws them where they show how then kind matters and they then go be treated. You understand?
Before you join, we've been talking a little about the culture of silence, yes. And how they hamburg the whole advocacy thing. Why is it important for let people break the silence? Perhaps you go through the internet for let you speak out.
But people use shame to silence women. That's not just the normal thing. If you shame them, if you disgrace them, we go keep them quiet. If you shame them, if you disgrace them, we go shrink them. That bright star will be they come up and not go bright anymore. We go just shrink them no more at the space. People use that. So what I get for say is just like how people when they come out and say, me too, I be experience rape. Me too, I be experience some kind verbal abuse. Just like how people are coming out online and then they join campaigns where black protests march the streets of Freetown or anywhere they find themselves, or even outside this country, people are marching, people are protesting. Just like how then they come out for their physical violence and they, now the same way we're supposed to be robust. Not for shame, not for hide the fact that abuse they happen on the virtual space to we and speak about them. Because when you don't talk about them, people think it does not exist. And the reason we make our touch this other matter is this understanding. Say even when you partner, they stalk your phone. There's this conversation that people are not open to having. Oh, you password. Open your phone, give me your password. That's a form of control. But people, if you don't know that, they say, oh, me man just stay jealous. He like for going inside my phone. It's a form of virtual violence. It's a technology facilitated violence, because this person not supposed to go inside your phone. Your phone's supposed to be your private property, right? Unless you give somebody permission for use them. But I don't see partners them, relationship them, where somebody go get stuck in app. And they know who sign in partner they at. If you do them for safety reason, this is a conversation where now don't get. When I say, well, sometimes we walk where we they do, Khadija, you're not journalist, I'm scared about your movement. I want for know usa you dey. Then you, Khadija, you give permission. So you know what's in? Make we use tag them or things them we go able know with location at any particular time. That's okay. But if it's a situation where you don't know, somebody don't go put a app na your phone for just talk your way about, just for no usa you they move. Somebody when I don't get an argument, he hold your phone, open the phone, make us see. Open the phone, make us see. We don't see how that don't cause damage. That don't happen because of arguments. I want to see if they talk to somebody, I want to know that they talk to, make us see the person where they talk to. Open the phone, you realize say you were speaking to a man, and then arguments come out, fights come out. Later, that happen, we match the same streets and say, oh, not so in killer, I may not do this. The case is still being debated, still being discussed, still being pushed in and out of courts. You understand? We've seen those scenarios. So even then people in the way, if you don't know, say that in a form of violence and it happen to you, start having that conversation with your partner that, no, I agree and today na Liberty Online TV say, even for make you gain access na my phone for control me, whereabout for control me is a form of violence. And I don't appreciate being just the way somebody they move physical, where they move out of relationship because of physical violence. Now the same seriousness somebody for take virtual violence. Because if you not take them, now so you go they say arguments come out, fights come out before you marry. Knock happen, die happen. And woman, we not to get rights in this country. We see the die case them, how we they deal with them here. We see how slow the process them they now the courts them. We see how unintentional they are about finding justice. You understand? So we're not together. Right? So the first instinct is to protect yourself, is to safeguard yourself. Then the second instinct is to speak truth to power. Tell the one they were responsible for make the laws, for make them able to understand what are the gaps in the laws, for make them able to go back na the drawing board and review their laws and when they do their review then for make them involve people who are affected by the issue. You understand? Because a survivor-centric approach to designing laws, policies them, or actions them, we go make change happen. You know, just go no more and design for people them without having women on the table discussing those issues. That's why we are very much appreciative to lawyers them. I don't know if Minister talks, say one of the work where they do now is to even move across the country and tell people them waiting at the contents of their laws them where exist for woman and girl picking them. Because not a lot of people know waiting their laws and they say. And that's one of the reasons why where we purpose law NBN lawyers for support them in moving that action. We will continue for do that for the longest of time. So far as they still get the commitment, they get the energy for move around for help young people, them, woman them and girl picking them, understand say laws they exist. This now waiting the laws and they say, this now how you go use the law for protect you. Then at the same time, able call out the gaps in those laws them and ask young people them and woman them and girl picking say, this now how you go call you MP or you councillors, or any time where you get the opportunity for sitting a platform where lawmakers are, you can call their attention to the gaps in the, so that they go able to close the gap for we, so that we go able live in with full power.
Talking about moving around, discussing the laws to woman the minister, wasn't that the common things that we don't discover so far? Is it that woman then just want to be complacent, say, okay, this form of violence don't happen to me online? I know they tell nobody, or na know they no say there are laws for let you go get justice.
Okay, so yes, as Josephine mentioned, so as part of we work na lawyers now that we do a whole lot of advocacy I mentioned earlier and awareness. Just a week ago we come more Moyamba, we go Cambia, you know, more on raising awareness of various laws, gender laws them. Yeah, and with regards your question, now the fact that I think I mentioned earlier, now that most times you get people when don't know say some of their laws they are there. Yeah, and waiting their laws they are mean or waiting it provide for. For example, this Cyber Security and Crime Act, a very, very, very detailed. It get offenses the way they inside it. And we also get penalties them where it puts inside it. Yeah, for example, section 44, they talk about cyber stalking and cyber bullying, where somebody they follow you or somebody they post something where detrimental to you or they create fear in you as a person, you know. with danding an offense, and also that kind of person they go pay a fine between 30,000 to 50,000 new leons, or even go jail for 2 to 5 years. You know, so the laws are there, as I mentioned earlier. It's all about the enforcement, and also we'll talk about the enforcement, also the capacity building for the actors, the way you they interface with in ensuring that these laws are being enforced. Yeah. So but then we continue the advocacy, we continue the awareness, because if women they don't know say their laws then they or then kind punishments then they for people there, then go continue to go through them various violence there and stay silent. You get some way generally just want for stay silent because of retaliation, it afraid, let the talk not go out, for shame, for family name and all. But I believe say you also get some way things say, if the law day, if this person don't leak me pornography, you know, me video, then law day way go able hold this person or even jail this person. You get people where go really, like how Joseph mentioned the last time, then go na the CID day, we go really come up with the matters them. But then as an organization, we continue. We're working with purposeful, where now we partners with feminist organization, and we keep the advocacy work alive. We keep pushing on the awareness of various gender laws, the way they affect women them.
From the third way una don do
So far, any issue of compromise coming like from the family, because most times again the woman they can want for talk, but because of family involvement, they can tend not for.
A lot, especially down in the provinces. You get a lot of compromise from the family, you know, sexual violence or GBV matter go don't happen, the matter don't come forward, then the person get up people and then go meet, go try for settle out, say na you fumble, all na one, this and that, a lot it happen. Then they very common. But we still try for talk to people, you know, because for we it's about access to justice. It's about giving you that justice. You know, when you finally believe, say, somebody do you something, then you end up get justice. It a heal. It's a healing too. You know, it make you feel like, say, okay, this person not just take advantage by me. But most times, compromise, you left the person for live with the trauma and the torture. All in the name of, okay, they don't come beg me, they don't come waiting. But all waiting, you don't perpetrate on that person, it's still there in the memories. You know, or sometimes even maybe you action create some kind damage on that person, you get for live with her. You know, so I think, so most times, I think the consolation with that person will get at the fact, say, this person not just can do this act for me, but at the end of the day, I will get justice.
There are two sides of a coin. Melissa just talk
About justice. Let's get your perspective, Josephine. When it comes to online usage, especially for the young girls, them find themselves in different communities, then they online and the digital space, now one way then they make use of. What can you go say the need for taking into consideration when they make use of the digital space as well?
Yeah, as much as we want put the work back to the people and because you know we get a habit of blaming people. You for me don't do this, you for me don't do that. Our work is making sure that the system work. System supposed to work in a way that young people they not go put themselves in, they not go day in a situation where go cause harm for them, or woman they not go put themselves in a situation where go cause harm for them. I respond to your question quickly. I just want to name that because most of the time where we see the revenge porn them out, we they blame the victim them. But instead, why taking video? Why instead he allow them video them? Why instead he make them poster with the blame? The conversation should not be but instead it's supposed to be the person we post them, why he post them. Or that give them permission for post them, and what would the law do with that person? It's the same way we need for make the space safe for we gal picking them where they use this, because at the end of the day, my first experience with online was doing assignments. my very first experience where I get my first phone where they go online and I able do Google and search and get my assignments done. That was my first experience. There are very good things that we can help young people them able know and how to use this technology. A lot of people are getting aid right in their dissertation. It's a bit, I mean, me, the school system self is another thing. How many people don't even need to go do research for writing their dissertation? Then just sit down, then do table research, browse the internet, gather all the contents in, and they're able to do research. Different from some of the courses they will do, go live in a village for 1, 2, 3 months for collect data them. That's how easy technology don't make them for students then. So that's not a space you want students out of. That's a space you want to keep safe for students so that they will continue for use them. For girl picking them, what I get for say is I still want to address the system. I want to talk to the school because it's one place where young people then they spend half of their daytime. The school is not just an institution for learning. The school is also a frontline protection agency because when crime happens to picking, most of the time, the first symptom na school you go see. You will see maybe the way they interact before they done, they interact that way they again. In a person, that way they isolate himself. Teachers see that. Maybe picking he gets some problem with the eyes. Maybe now us not able to notice them. The teacher now notice them, he call me attention. He say you pick away they watch the squinting. I say, well, we eye them small, we get Chinese eyes them. He say no, he say they squint too much. I say, oh, now I understand why they make mistake with in spelling. That now for sure say the school for be more proactive, not to just for go provide learning, now for able provide protection also. Look for things some way not too usual. Where you see unusual, you call the parents' attention to it. The parents get a role for play. See when minister take the time for explain the kind of protection we put in picking your iPad. It's the same protection me own picking it. If you're not ready for supervise, you're not in the space to give a phone to your young picking. You for able supervise, you for able gather, then get the Apple, then get the parental sharing thing. Whatever the picking they do, you they know them, you they see them, and you they limit the time. The same way you they talk to him for make he dress well, for make he put lemon on the hand, make we have this conversation, we don't they get picking and how they go. The same way they pay attention to those conversations. It's the same way you're supposed to be paying attention to conversation about online safety. And now to the girl picking them, you can use this for so much more. This is not just a place for make you browse, endless browsing. You get people that do endless, they wake up in the morning and they just browse. This is a place you can learn a new skill. We don't see the entrepreneurs them. People already say, I learn for make me ear products from YouTube video. I learn for do this craft from YouTube. There's so much potential within the online space. You can use them for do that. You can use them for the ahead of your course, rather than just using it to do endless browsing and scrolling online. Yeah.
Look at messages there now.
Okay.
Very interesting conversation. We will continue for getting conversation there. As we all know, say throughout the 16 days, different advocacy group they go all around, just here for Menisa, then self get for dinner schools them, and other one then they na the region then now forget some of them conversation there. So that woman and girl picking them go know waiting them for do. The first one they take now from Teneka bro. Now Facebook he say in March this year I personally experienced what it feels like to be a victim of digital violence, and it was triggered by something as simple as a comment, but that one comment carried weight. It affected my sense of safety, my dignity, and even how I expressed myself online for a while. Digital violence is not just words on a screen. It can silence voices, create fear, and push people, especially young women and girls, out of spaces where they deserve to belong.
All right, this one from Kylie Sylvanus Harding. It says children education, how to use internet, public education on cyber, and training of our law enforcement agency on how to tackle the crime will help reduce this particular crime against women and girls.
Mama, they say Sierra Leone context, as we discussed, 85% of women or girls they are witness or experience online abuse, with 67 of female journalists and activists targeted via threat or sex tape extortion. Perpetrators are often men exploiting cultural stigma, but underreporting due to shame hides the scale. Women aren't driving this, they are suffering it, with cases surging 50 times from 2018.
This one again from Teneko Kagbo is say when we look at the reality of how society continues to treat women and girls, it becomes clearer why the 16 days of activism is not just a campaign. It's necessary to call for justice. Too many women are still dismissed, disrespected, silenced, or blamed when they experience violence, when offline or online. Instead of protecting them, society often questions their choices, their behavior, or their presence. This must change. Women and girls deserve to live in a world where their rights are respected, where their voices are valued, and where their safety is guaranteed.
This one, they say we need to remind ourselves that safe spaces must include digital spaces. Ending digital violence means promoting respect, holding perpetrators accountable, and educating our communities about responsible online behavior. Each of us has a role to play in making the internet safer by reporting abuse, supporting survivors, and choosing empathy in our daily interactions.
This one says, Sierra Leone context,
As we discussed, 85% of women, so girls, they are witnessing or experience online abuse, with 65% of female journalists, activists targeted via threats of sex tape extortion. Perpetrators are often men exploiting and cultural stigma, but understanding due to shame hides the scale. Women aren't driving this, they are suffering.
All right, many more messages. We'll just take few, then we'll come back to we studio guests them. To my fellow women and girls, let's use our digital space wisely. Be mindful of what you share, protect your personal information, and think carefully about the communities you engage with. Not every platform or conversation deserves your energy. Your safety, dignity, and mental well-being should always come first.
Say even this online, mainly the girls are the problem. How sometimes they take money from some men during doing online stuffs, others showing their private parts too online.
Quickly, I take now YouTube. This one, they say we need more boarding schools separated from boys and girls, where we can educate and feed our school age children. It will be sanctuary places for our youth. All we need is leadership.
the final one when we go take from
Now, Ronald, they say there are no structures in place that give the victims the right in forcing the police to apprehend those responsible. This is due to paternal structures in Sierra Leone. Their women seem to be less important when it comes to sexual violence and abuse. Go outside of the capital, you will be shocked as you see abuse going on.
All right, quickly, would they come back to we guest them, Menisa? Somebody just give me statistics, although no knows in data source form, but it shows say their issues there really they go up and beyond the 16 days, because you could go only hearing conversation there when na 16 days now. But waiting we for do for go beyond the 16 days of activism, so that the conversations will keep them alive, teaching people how to stay safe online. Try for bring the man themselves for support with the woman them, for getting conversation there, so that the digital space go become safe for every user, especially women and girls.
Yes, Khadija. The comments are they're very interesting, and it shows the conversation is all over. And you also see women there. They talk about their personal experiences on the digital space. We basically conclude on all we don't they talk now. This now a platform we supposed for be safe for all, regardless of your gender. But then they see and now say a particular gender they suffer more from, rather than the intent way go there for empowering himself for catch phone, for share content, you know. And it's good that we're having these conversations. And we don't do a whole lot of enlightenment or throw insights on this conversation by just being here this morning. But as you mentioned, I not only get for stop here. Not today, not the 16 days we will get in the coming days. It has to go beyond on various platforms and engagements. You know, I think firstly is also about the engagement with the government. You know, the laws are there. We mentioned all man know the law, but you see people are having challenges on how for make sure say them provisions then they, you know, you see them in practical, you know. So we engage the government, how they self go make them simplified for people there. We go come in conflicts or we go get digital violence, how they can able come forward, how they can able access, you know, just simplify and lay and not look too complex that people go just, okay, you know, let's just take time manage with this. And I also think that government also, and also we as advocacy, need for engage then tech companies there, you know, for, as I mentioned earlier, for make the spaces then safer, you know, for ensure that they get certain codes them where they self go by. And then get where how then they regulate the spaces, you know. I think if they begin remove harmful content or you get somebody where constantly all money they go and give waiting. I don't know if there's a way where certain people, and I think thank God for it for the block themselves now their online spaces. I don't know if I'm being too extra. But then it's also about us as individuals as well, you know, in how much we able for identify, because sometimes people don't even know how for a go just say no man na cost wall to the cost with the exchange world do the waiting. But also how we able for identify them various digital violence there. But then it doesn't have to stop now. The conversation need for continue through trainings. We mentioned earlier on capacity building, you know, on with various platforms them, and even engaging we girls them, you know, on safer online practices, where then they also go help for limit some of them digital violence there we then go come across with. So it's gonna be an ongoing conversation. You know, we're not just supposed for stop here, but at least go continue for carry on for the longest time. You know, so for us, I mentioned that we they do the school tour, and we also for close the 16 days, we also the plan for get a walk, you know, wherein we go do together with the membership, various partners, stakeholders, you know, just together collectively for raise with voice for end digital violence on we women and girls them. So it will also be a platform so we'll go get various speakers them. We will also come talk about the issues there, how for address them. I think it will also be a platform also we can also get maybe even a representative from the police, you know, or even from the justice sector where at least we can talk to people them, give them this kind assurance, this kind confidence on the steps that we government don't take and how governments want for continue for work for end this digital violence where it rapidly they grow across the world and even in Salonia.
All right, many thanks, Josephine.
Yeah, one of the things I want to say, I wish one of these 16 days when I able bring people them way don't get first-hand experience with this. I should say there are folks out there where they don't go through them, they don't go through the shame, the healing, and they want for make it stop. They probably will use their voice and their experience just for reinforce that message, say, and not just virtual, it affects people physically, mentally, and all of that. What I want to say, we in our purposeful, we continue to work with partners like lawyers, not to just salon with the work. We get blueprints of we work now over 100 countries around the world. we partners them all over now. If you check online, you'll see that they do a lot of activities for raise awareness now. We will continue to amplify those work. One of our work is making sure that we give people the platform they need to power their activism, the resources they need to power their activism, the political education, which is one thing Una they do now. So awakening people in politics, making them understand that this thing Una be they say no to violence. There's a name for it. Una don't give people in the name. And mostly when people are able to name something, they start to address it. So we will continue to support those initiatives, programs, them, organizations, them, girls and their feminist movement partners, them where they do work like this. And I just want to encourage people and not for be shame, because shame is the tool of the patriarchy. They use shame to silence. We don't want people to be ashamed. Nor ever shrink yourself. If this don't happen to you, no say no to you angry. It don't happen to other people. Me too. Somebody else has experienced it. The only way we can build communities is if we start for open up and share with ourselves and use the collective voice for demand reform or change in laws and policies them.
All right, many thanks, Josephine. We join me
Thank
this
you.
morning. Hopefully, we go try for get on her back in some other engagement them as we continue for amplify some of their messages there. So teach them picking there how them for stay safe online and safe apart from the picking them. Even we when the big woman themselves. Not all man know waiting supposed for do online. Not all man know say you need for watch a particular content before you click like or even press a share. So within these 16 days of activism, we'll go work with partner Delekona for continue for use the media space or amplify some of their messages there. So where I believe say go a long way in trying to for end. If we not end and safe now, but to go raise awareness so people gonna say it is a crime for you share somebody in picture or for you even put up a certain comment about somebody where you know get consent or they make you feel shy or we go make you avoid the digital space where not so is supposed to happen. Well, many thanks, Melissa and Josephine wanna join me this morning. Liberty TV will continue with the conversation there. As we self get a responsibility for ensure say we keep women and we girls them very safe. In this conversation, we'll get support from the Orange Foundation and also the Irish Embassy in Sierra Leone. Follow they get some of them conversation there. So well now the breakfast show go end for today. Mina Khadija Bangura they say have a blessed day.
All right, and many thanks to the production team. Till we meet again, Mabel Kabade say get a good day and stay safe.
Mina Yvonne Akisoya, Mayor of Freetown, and I want Rob Mott Lilibit for this proposed plan for divide Freetown into 3 cities. The reason why government give, they're saying that because of development, they're saying that because of improving service delivery. I can tell you up front, any city where they, Usai will not plan the use of land, you not get land use planning. Usai building permits, they're not effective. It will mean to say access will be a problem. And Usai access not a problem, you will get challenged with disaster, you will get challenged with emergency access, you will get challenged with sanitation. And let me watch for we self the reality of waiting 45% of we city actually fever.
Me 3 grand picking there with me picking in wealth in mama. They're all not dying at this water crisis because people block the place where the water can be just can't flush the hose. Then 4 die.
People just they build all side. So even this community what this place them when an access wood where vehicle for come. As soon as you the kind side, so you na be access wood. If incidents happen now, vehicle one kind side, ambulance one kind side. Now this community for can collect, let's just say emergency. I wanna feel say that the ambulance go cancel. They want to pass them to and can go na the main line.
You see, start Mapia, motor no de kaya, bike no de kaya, possible by bike de kaya.
We try to cool and safe. This clean salon business. For kind size in able enter. Pass we take the dirty them. Go to our side. To don't build at the place.
You see? Then the Tidana way the community people, then they pull from and where they see small rain, where then they twin and then drainage. Now then they wash now the streets where we can see. You know, I feel like one time where rain come by Kisiod, where at the pass, rain come, I see a huge dirty in the middle of the street. You know, where because of people don't get that ideology and that mindset, they say where rain come, then garbage, they only forgot to run a gutter, let water wash them. And forget say now the city then the dirty. You know, I feel I'm for the council people on that day because them don't work that morning day, then where rain come, then come back and can't sweep.
All this are because of planning all day. All man they do so bad. Guys, you can go inside, forget the dirty them. For care and go na do. Some people are not get choice, so you go give them clean, so you clean, so you go left for people and do what's there.
Because they don't say Freetown City Council, holy solely, they're facing a council they do road, they're facing a council they give building permit, let people and build a road, let people and block us and access road where people want to car for pass or guys for kind side, for collect people and dot. Not to mayor they in charge of giving building permits, not to mayor they in charge of making road. We get the SLRSA, we get the Ministry of Lands, when are they in charge of issue those things to people where you know they do them thing and they. If law and order no dey, all man they go do no more what he wants. Who side salon they go?
Freetown City Council not give up. We still move forward with new sanitation bylaw, and we really expect for see continued improvements because we don't make improvements. Dividing the city, the situation go worse because the Lily money we for go towards service delivery will now go for run the operating cost of 2 additional councils. So let we not fix the wrong problem. The problem we need for fix, now the problem of service delivery. Dividing Freetown, not get for fix now and then.
Country like Salon also every decision they touch the life of plenty people. One program they bring the voice of the people to the heart of politics.
This na politics and the people. The program where they give the power to the people, explain the truth, and bring the leader them close to the citizen them.
Real discussion, real voice them, real impact. Join the debate and make them hear your voice.
Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Now you platform where they turn up for the truth and civil engagement. Only on Liberty Online TV.
Let me talk about politics. Let me talk about people.
Term them like this, where politics they shape with future, career they define we path them, and the economy they touch everybody in life.
Big thank you to
one program where they ask the hard question them and so bring the answer them close to you, face to face with the movers and shakers. The voice them will matter, the issue them will count. One time per week, one big name, one big issue. One-on-one on Liberty Online TV. Every Friday, 8 to 9 p.m. with Khadija Bangura. One-on-one, only on Liberty Online TV.
You are watching Liberty Breakfast Show on Liberty Online TV.